more wood acquired. We get a single piece of cherry, 3 pieces of maple, and then a really, really nice piece of walnut that's completely clear all the way through, which is nice. But yeah, time to mass produce.
felt until the end. Every hour was down, oh, chance closer to death. Man, I thought I'd be when I was just a kid. So I'll just saw away and let them all fall to the ground. Oh, someone hear me, even though
Just picked up a bunch of clamps. Got some brand new ones. I saw this deal on Marketplace and I couldn't pass it up. And I got some more wood glue for all the cutting boards. If you guys want to see a build video on one of those, I can make one of those eventually. Sorry I didn't film it, but me and my dad just got both these cutting boards. This will equal 2. And these ones all glued up. I just wanted some extra help so it went faster. And I still have 4 more to glue up, but those will happen at a different time because I am basically, I have extra clamps over there, but they're all like 5 foot long. And that's not gonna happen in this tiny little area. It's kind of a mess in here already. But I have 12 cutting boards to make. I have 4 done already. And we'll get to it. Okay, I just finished the final 4 boards glue up. So we have this will equal 2 boards right here. And we have this little here. I changed up the shop a little bit. But another one right here. I brought the router table out of storage basically. It was in the depths of that crap over there. Put the planer up on the stand. And it's just an old sheet of plywood that I had laying around, and it all needs adjusted. I need to find a better spot for the table saw, but yeah, we have 2 boards over there. We have 4 boards already sanded and done, so 12 boards in total. And I didn't, actually it's gonna be 13 total, because half part of this video put the cherry board in. I don't know how much I filmed it, but I was during it all. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it a night on that note. After 3 cutting boards, got about half full, and the filter's like completely full. We're about to go blow it out. What's the date? Saturday, November 12th. That's the start of winter this year in Minnesota. That's all we needed. Okay. Seven of the 8 are done. This one has a little bit of the green check stuff on it, so I want to sand it down before I did the roundovers. I did all 4 corners rounded, just a little bit harder. I only filmed like half of them because I was tuning up the router cable first to make sure the bed was all flat to the little metal bit over there. When I first pulled it out, this was lower, so every time you went by, it would flip right here or sag lower, then do more of the roundover, and then I tuned up the fence too to make sure the fence was all set up correctly. So I'm just going to take some 80 grit, I think, and then go through and sand off that little blue portion right there. It has a little bit of spalting in it too, so I think it should go faster because it should be a little bit softer. We'll find out. Got the edge all cleaned up now. You can see a little bit of that spalting in there. And it extends down, you can see a tiny bit on this side, so right there, little ring. Yeah, there's another board that has a bigger piece in it. It looks really pretty. Somewhere in the pile of the 8 boards that I'm finishing right now. I'm gonna finish this one off real quick. When I got that first load of lumber to do the first like 3 or 4 cutting boards, it was 70s and sunny, and that was a week and a half ago. And now it's 30, and tomorrow is supposed to be 14, and I think it's only supposed to get colder for the rest of the week. It's November 14th. We got 3 inches of snow, and it's supposed to start back up in an hour and not stop for the rest of the week. So for sanding on my first, on all my ones, but especially on the first 80 grit pass, I take my pencil. You can see some of the marks. I already started doing it, but I take my pencil and just bring it in a swivel motion, to make sure I get everywhere on it. And you can see, I don't know how well you can see it well on the camera, but it's all nice, and you can see exactly where the pencil mark is. And then I just bring my sander in slowly and catch that area and make sure I get that all done. And then I also have this overhead Milwaukee light right here. I would recommend this. I think it's like $50, but it shows up more white on camera, but it's more of an orange. It's an orange hue light, so it doesn't, not like that shining bright light. But you can bring it into the side and sand like this. You can do over top or whatever. I like this mostly, but for my first pass, so you guys can see it on the video. A little bit of roughness right there, so I'll just go back through with my sander and get all of that stuff out without gouging it. Now you can see, in the light, I don't really see that good. That roughness is all completely gone. There's a few chips in here. I will probably fill that up with some putty, because this will most likely end up being the underside. But my guess is after all the sanding's done, you'll barely be able to see those chips anyways. So I will do the other side now. And how I have this set up is I just put it in a clamp setup. I have it clamped down right here so it sits still. I've been doing this for a while. It seems to help. Then I can just hold the hose with my left hand behind my back and sand with my right hand. And I find that a very simple little trick that helps. This side is way less rough. There's a bit of a, I don't know, it's just curly. And there's a little bit of a rough patch right there. Also another tip, just use a Christmas light clicker for my dust extraction system. So I just go on. Just that simple, $7 at Menards, I think it was. But That's a lot cheaper than a lot of the other competitors. I would, if I had a Festool back, I'd just do the Festool system, but the other ones are all just Crystal Slate clickers with brand names on them. Okay, on to sanding this board next, the other side next. Good. So I'll just repeat that process. I'll go through 80 grit on all these ones and get all of those boards done. Then I will move on to another grit. I'll go to 120 next, and I'll go 180, 220, and then I'll water pop and go 320. So that's my whole process on sanding. It's very, very simple in the end. Okay, well, we went through 80 grit on all of these. Took me quite a while, but now all I have to do is the edges, and you can see on this one especially, there's a little bit of bumpiness on the side. I've already done it once, so this area is pretty well flattened out now, but you can really see that bumpiness. So what I do is I take my sander, run it against the fence, and then as it's going, I lift it straight up so it's parallel, and then I just kind of keep going down, back and forth, and it creates a really, really nice profile edge on it. Here's an example. This side is kind of similar to being that bumpy way, but now it's a nice uniform edge on it. Any malfunction to the sander, or not even malfunction, but or not sander, round over. Like, just say if the board, one of the pieces wasn't completely flat against the fence on the router table, like that one, it does that bumpy texture, and it'll knock that down, but it's still important to do the round over even if it's not square, because the round over is your guide, and it's just making it a bigger round over, and it looks nicer in my opinion. So I'll film that in a second and show you guys just one edge of me doing it. I don't think I need to show a lot more. It's going to get really repetitive with sanding. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Okay, well, here's that edge. You can see this one is the really, really bumpy one I showed a little bit, like the last clip. And it is completely nice and rounded over now. Really nothing there. Same with this edge over here. But that's really all I do for sanding. And I'll go 120 next after I finish doing the same thing on all these cutting boards. And I won't do that edge profile, and then I'll go 180 and I'll hand sand the edges, because now they're all nice and uniform. you don't want to gouge them out by the sander by accidentally. So, continue sanding. Just a simple jig I made. It's an inch from here. Gets them perfectly centered. And that's it. It's just that simple. I thought I'd update you guys. Just about to start sanding 320. And me and my dad also got this new lumber rack for at Rockler. And yeah, it's a pretty nice one. I got a nice piece of Purple Heart at Rockler. It's about 10 feet long. I had to cut about 20 inches off of it. And I got a nice piece of Padauk too. Rockler had 20% off all lumber, which I'm pretty sure I said earlier, but new lumber rack, looking very nice. Nice little upgrade from just having it stacked around the shop. Still have that little scraps pile and stuff up there. And I'm gonna get to sanding. Finished sanding all of them about an hour ago. Brought them all inside. I was just getting started on doing the feet of them and leveling them out. But yeah, that's sanding done. that's my finishing process. I do a thick coat of mineral oil and pour it on it. I would like to dip tank. I just don't have enough room or a proper way to dry it if I do that. But I do a thick coat of mineral oil, let that soak in, do a thick coat on the underside, and I turn the underside over because I don't want it to soak in at all. On the top side, and just let the bottom drip off and just kind of take what it wants. And then I do my mixture of beeswax and mineral oil, and I do that mixture, which works out pretty good. And I take a heat gun it in, let it all soak in, and then I leave it for about 5 minutes after that. Then I come back to it, heat gun it again, and then press it in like you saw me do the second time. And then usually it leaves a good coating of it after that. If it really needs it, I'll slide it back and forth and make it look nice. All 12 done. There's all 12 done. It was really fun making these cutting boards. If you guys liked what you saw, please comment down below and subscribe. Thank you.